Again, this is a question type where I feel, it's more to do with attention to detail if you ask me, right? You need to pay attention to the spelling of the words and you need to pay attention to, okay, is this the right word according to this context? Second one, a bank gift card is usually a prepaid card which can be used in an ATM to check the balance, but one cannot withdraw cash. So again, this one, easy again, as soon as it's just viewing, right? Menaka, correct, right? Obviously the answer is 3, right? It should not be check, it should be CHECK, right? The vast amount of information available today has created a more knowledgeable public. So my options are waste, amount, information and public. Again, what is, something seems odd, right? Something is off in the context. What's that word? What is the word that is off in the context, right? It's not waste amount. We're talking about a certain amount of information. So the right word should be vast, meaning that much more information is available today, which has created a more knowledgeable public. So one of your clue words is again knowledgeable. It's a positive context. So I don't need this negative word waste, right? So obviously the error is in, or the option that you need to click is 1. Some of the steps taken over the late few months have made the tax return filing process simpler. What are my highlighted words? My highlighted words are steps, late, filing and simpler. Which is the one that I need to change? Who's this? Filing is correct. Somebody said that's where the problem is. We're talking about tax returns, right? Remember? So it's not filling but filing, tax filing. That's the colloquial term, right? So it's the error is not in part 3, the error is in part 2. Right, like most of you pointed out, some of the steps taken over the few months. So obviously late is an incorrect word, it has to be last, right, over the last few months. She asked the manager where should she, actually I think there's a typo error here, there is no I here, okay. So if this was there in the test and if you had marked 4, then I understand, right, but that's not where the error is actually. She asked the manager where should she keep the big box. Any other error in this context, do you think? Now, if you look at the statement, what statement is this? Indirect. Indirect speech, right? Now, in indirect speeches, usually what happens is questions are changed to statements. And this is something that you need to remember. Questions are changed to statements. So, the direct speech could have been, she asked the manager, where should I keep the big box? So you're changing it, right? So when you're changing it, the question changes to statement. Somebody pointed that earlier, the error is in part 3. You just need to interchange that, right? She asked the manager where she should. Make it a statement. Don't retain it as a question. Should I do this? Should I keep the big box? Is a question. Change it into a statement. Where she should keep the box. Keep the big box. Error is in part 3. Just interchange this. That's all. Right? The doctor asked his patient to regularly take his medicine. What's the answer? So I have no error. The doctor to regularly take his medicine asked his parent. Okay, let's understand this. A lot of typo errors, okay. This is actually patient, not parent. The doctor asked his patient to regularly take his medicine. Now, I'll give you a clue. Let me see if you're able to guess it. Okay, the clue is, logically, look at it like you go to the doctor, right? And he is asked you to do something, right? I'm giving logical breakout. So, the doctor asked you to do something. When is last? Word order here, right? We're talking about sequence in terms of time reference, right? Usually, the word order, if you look at the word order, you will have a subject, right? You will have a verb. You will have an object. The indirect object will come first. And then you will have a direct object. And then you will have place and time, right? This is the correct word order. So if I have to give you an example, I will say, let's say, I will tell you the proposal at work tomorrow. Right? So what am I saying? I subject will tell verb. Indirect object. To whom are you saying? Indirect object answers the question to whom. Direct object answers the question what. Right? So what will you tell? Direct object proposal. Indirect object to whom will you tell? You. Where? At work. When? Tomorrow. Likewise, if you go back to this, the doctor subject asked verb his patient to whom? Indirect object. What should come next? Direct object. What is the direct object? The doctor asked to do what? Right? Take his medicine. That is the direct object. So that should come before when? Before time. Are you following? So regularly should come at the end. So this is a word order error. So the error is in part C. Right? The doctor asked to take the medicine. So asked his patient to take the medicine regularly. Are you following? It's a word order error. Right? Though it looks like, hey, there is no error. But we need to kind of pay attention to all these little things. Right? The error is in part C.